Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
Merry Christmas. Say, I love football. Say this. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Tampa. Tampa. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Oh my God, she's so smart and she's so precious. I love her to death. What's going on? Welcome back to another edition, your post-game edition of the evolution of sports talk television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. How do we start off this show? Let's do it right. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with everything that's been done and said, Leonard Fournette, not there. Shaq Barrett, not there. JPP, not there. Antonio Brown, quit. Chris Godwin, out for the year. They take care of their business today. 41-17 over the Carolina Panthers. And thank you very much to the San Francisco 49ers. Tonight, the San Francisco treat, Johnny Lynch. How about that? And his San Francisco 49ers taking care of the LA Rams in overtime. So now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are coming to town, and what that basically guarantees is not only the Bucs are going to be 13-4 after they defeat the Panthers today, but they will have 2 home games. So everything that was supposedly talked about during the week, and they even lost Grayson during the game to a hamstring injury. We'll see what that's all about. Didn't matter. Guys stepped up today. Gronkowski stepped up today. Mike Evans stepped up today. Shocker. I love that. So let's fire the cannons. Let's go ahead and give the woo. Woo! And let's go ahead and do the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Because your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 13-4 as they defeat the Carolina Panthers. They are the number 2 seed. Of course, the Green Bay Packers are the number 1 seed. And everything that you had to happen today, Bucs fans, you got it. Woo! So open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. An entertaining day of football. But Bucs fans, it didn't start out that way, did it? Huh? Not good. Not good until that final 2 minutes where Tom Brady gets this team moving. Touchdown to Le'Veon Bell. But Brady started out 5 for 10, 34 yards. And then after that, he was cooking. 15 for 21, 191 yards, including a touchdown to Le'Veon Bell for the Bucs to get on the board. And once again, I get it. It's a different team. We heard about it all week. We knew that the distractions were there with Antonio Brown, which you could still talk about if you want to because his lawyer had some comments today. But at the end of the day, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get it done. Tom Brady in this game. Look at his final statistics as I'm going through my numbers here. 29 for 37, 326, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also, with those numbers, becomes the greatest in Buccaneer history with surpassing passing yards, 5,113 yards, and also ends the year with 43 touchdowns. Not bad for a 44-year-old quarterback, right? Not bad at all. So definitely want to hear from you guys. Whatever you have to say, let's go ahead, get on the phone line. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. You also talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you cannot forget about Mike Evans, who 6 catches, 89 yards, couple touchdowns in this game. The only wide receiver in NFL history to have 8 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Amazing. That's never been done in NFL history. Never. Not at all. And then, of course, Rob Gronkowski. And you know what, Bucs fans? What do we hear all week? Well, the Bucs are not going to be able to get Brown his incentives, right? Not going to be able to get it. When we know damn well that Brady did it last year for Brown on the sacrifice through Ronald Jones, right? He got him paid. He got Gronkowski paid today. In fact, $1 million in incentives. And boy, Gronkowski was huge in this game. And he's going to be huge down the stretch. That's why I keep on telling people, don't rule this team out. And there's not a team in the NFL right now that the Bucs should be worried about. Not even the Green Bay Packers. Sorry. Again, when you got Tom Brady and you've got guys that are there consistently, Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski and guys like that, you're going to be good to go. Gronkowski, 6 catches for 130 yards. Let's go out to these comments here. Paul says 49ers play all bound. Absolutely. And good for Jimmy G. Made some big throws in that game. And if you watch the shows during the week, whether it was the Sports Web or the Over Under, or even Jacob Charnow show, the Hard Count Football Podcast, they told you the 49ers would win that game. Why? Because they run the ball, they punch you in the mouth, and boy, oh boy, did they not get after Stafford today. What was it, 5-6 sacks in that game? Defense travels. And Bucs fans, you're going back and forth saying, oh, you'll be worried about the offensive weapons that you have. I get that. The guys are going to step up on this team. And if they're not going to step up, you're not going to go far. But most likely, you're going to get Leonard Fournette back. Okay? You're going to get Shaq Barrett back. You're going to get JPP back. You're going to get Levante David back on the defensive side of the ball. We saw this defense last year take over games. They got a tough matchup versus the Eagles, but it's a favorable matchup. Going back to the 49ers and Rams, when you get after Matt Stafford, you can force him into some throws. They did that today. All right, Dave. AB, that's how you earn your money, chump. Reginald, too bad. Couldn't wait one more week like Gronk to get paid. Exactly. I mean, what are we talking about here? Talked about it all week long. Well, AB wasn't going to get his incentives. Why? He got him last year. I mean, Brady's going to take care of you if you take care of him. And Gronk did that today. I mean, for a guy that's, up there in age, he's still pretty effective. And Tony Romo said this best. Whatever guys they have out there, they're going to have to beat their one-on-one matchups, and that's exactly what the Bucs did today. 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Class act equals Mike Evans. Congrats, Hall of Fame. Easy. Shoo-in. And some people were worried about when he got the record because he went down. He just got hit in the elbow. Relax. Relax, Bucs fans. It's okay. Sit back. Just sit back. Just sit back.
Yeah! Tampa makes some noise!
I mean, that's what we do. I just relax. You got Tom Brady at the controls. Again, you got off to a slow start today, but Bucs fans, you should be used to that by now. And then 2 minutes on, gangbusters. And look, it wasn't a game where, you got after Darnold a lot. They did cause a turnover in this game later on, but there was no game in doubt. But that offense just kept on doing what they always do. Protecting Tom Brady. 1 sack today. Tremendous. The line is never talked about in this team. Needs to be talked about on this team more. More and more. So we're waiting for the phone calls. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Defense is what will take us deep in the playoffs. Need to get healthy. Agree. It's good to have Joe Tryon and Anthony Nelson get some reps, but at the end of the day, you want JPP out there. You want Shaq Barrett out there. You want Levante David, because there was some runs that were given up in that first half. You're still giving up entirely too many rushing yards for this team. So you need those players back in the fold. You do. You absolutely need those players at the end of the day. Le'Veon Bell came in. He had a touchdown, of course, early on before the half. Keyshawn Vaughn, 10 for 29. Nothing to write home about. But again, the offensive line, 1 sack. And Brady, tremendous. Just tremendous. Rashard Perryman stepped up in this game because Grayson went out with a hamstring. Sam Darnold, 29 for 42, 219, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, like I said, it wasn't the prettiest game for the first half, but as you all know, this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team will definitely take off in the second half, and that's exactly what they did tonight. Playoff time, run the ball, play solid defense. Niners need the secondary to play better, and we can make a run. I agree. I absolutely agree, because you have that line, and Nick Bosa and guys up front getting it done. That's what it comes down to. It really does. So, Bucs fans, you guys are quiet tonight. I don't know what's going on, but definitely get on the phone line, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. I thought it was big when you come out in that first half after you take a 10-7 lead. After you take that 10-7 lead, and then you go up 17-7, and then you get a 3 and out. And then the Panthers come back. But Evans, I mean, people talk about other wide receivers on this team, and they kind of forget about Evans. They really do. And I think it's unfortunate because the guy is just consistent, just goes about his business professionally all the time. Again, Bucs went 41-17 over the Carolina Panthers. Does Brady play next year? Thoughts? I mean, look, I've said this before and I'll keep on saying it again. If they win a Super Bowl, which I think if anybody's ruling this team out at this point, you haven't been watching football all year around, because really nobody knows at this juncture. But you feel pretty good if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this point, because you're going to have 2 home games. And I'm not worried about this team playing on the road because I think they can, but they played their best games at home. Tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. What's your name? Where you calling from after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers now sitting at 13-4, the number 2 seed. Your thoughts?
Peter Blake, this is Jamie Buck Warrior.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Doing good. What a game. The offense started clicking. Started off a little slow. I was like, oh, can't believe they're starting out like this. And then they just started clicking. Everybody's getting involved. And then everything, as everybody's seen, went on the scoring run. And there you go. Now we got some luck with the 49ers winning, and now we're number 2 seed. We're ready to take down the Eagles now.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the Bucs beat them early on in the year on Thursday Night Football. Was it 27-17? And they had some problems with Jalen Hurts, and that's going to be the main focus of that game. It's going to be how you defend to Jalen Hurts, because all year around, this team has had problems with containing mobile quarterbacks, and Hurts is one of those guys. So definitely hurts you. You got Devontae Smith offensively, but you have to like this matchup. You have to like this matchup over the others that were possible. If you were the 3rd seed, of course, I want to say this right now while you're on the phone. Hey, check this out, guys. You ready? You guys are Bucs fans or watching this? Hey, Saints fans, you're done. See you later. You're not in the playoffs this year. All right, Warrior, go ahead.
I was going to say, just getting ready. I say, the Bucs in the game plan, can pretty much play like they did against the Chiefs. Hopefully we get Shaq Barrett back, and just have Hurts out of the pocket running around. Don't give him nothing easy. I don't think the Eagles have a good offensive line, so I think we can get the pass rush on them. I think we'll stop the run on them, but just stopping him from containing the pocket and running outside is hurting us. Like a little bit today, Sam Darnold in the first quarter, extending drives with they had the whole first quarter was, the first drive, they chewed up all the clock. So I was like, man, that was a long drive. They, ran on our defense. But
that first drive is tough to watch, and you watch the Panthers go down, but the Bucs have had that habit of doing that, and I'm not going to sit here and say, look, if they play that way versus a playoff team, that they're going to be able to get away with it, but that's just how this team is. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. A lot of Bucs fans are freaking out. I was getting texts from Ed, who's a big-time webhead here, a buddy, who was saying, this is not good. I said, just relax. Let this team go through it. And again, with the loss of Brown and, of course, Godwin and all the injuries they had, Brady has to get accustomed to these wide receivers. But what was looking good today, what was, definitely great to see, was not only Gronkowski once again stepping up like he did last week, but Mike Evans. And then when it wasn't Mike Evans, it was Rashard Perryman making some big catches. Yeah, Tyler Johnson in this game. And we also had a Scotty Miller.
Yeah, Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
Made some big plays.
Scotty does know. So, yes. So it was a good win.
But one thing the Eagles ain't going to have in Jalen Hurts is going to be a hungry, packed Raymond James Stadium. We've been hungry for this for so many years. Our first home playoff game since 2007. So we're going to be ready and have that thing rocking and rolling. So hopefully we got to wait to see what day it's going to be on. I heard it might be the Monday night game.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Monday night game too. Monday night in Tampa Bay, prime time, and we'll have it here live. And Harry the Greek is calling in. So, Harry, keep on calling. We'll get to you in a moment here. But what else, Warrior?
And that's it. Just go Bucs. Hey, enjoy this win, guys. Hey, all these records we've been breaking, and then we got the 13-4, our best record ever.
Yeah, best record ever, 13-4, second seed. I mean, there was no doubt. Was there ever any doubt with all the injuries and all the talk and adversity? Yeah. You didn't doubt your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, did you?
Hey, and another thing too.
Yes.
Hey, we may be 13-4 tied with the best record with the Packers, but we are the only NFL team to only lose to 3 teams this year.
Yeah, it's tough to lose to the Washington football team. That loss hurts, and of course losing to the Saints. But once again, Bucs fans rejoice because the New Orleans Saints are not making an appearance this year in the playoffs. There you go, good stuff. Let me give you the Byron Leftwich right there.
Bucs, baby.
Let me give you the woo, and let me go ahead and fire those cannons. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you. Definitely use your second call here, and don't be a stranger on the evolution, all right? All right, he's gone. So open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I'm your host, Peter Blake, live here on your post-game edition of the Sports Web on I Love St. Pete. Let's go out to these comments. I like it again. Playoff time, run the ball, play solid defense. Niners need the secondary to play better, and we can make a run. Agree with that. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo is not turning over the ball. Had a couple interceptions today, but I get it. You know, he's going through a broken finger or a type of injury like that. Paul says, absolutely, Dave. Vaughn is getting better, just needs reps. Agree, especially in pass protection. Once again, he didn't see those breakdowns, but it was rough at first. Remember Rojo, his first year? Absolutely. And I'm probably going to go ahead and switch off this TV here so I don't get copyrighted. Hold on a sec. There we go. How about that? Well, it just popped back on again. There we go. All right, let's go out to the phone lines here. Let's go out to Alex. Alex, what do you have to say about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking care of business versus the Carolina Panthers 41-17 to become the number 2 seed in the National Football League? Your thoughts? Welcome to the Sports Web.
Hey, Pete. Well, the first thing I wanted to say was I changed my number this week because I had that Baltimore number, remember?
Yep, I see you. I see you, buddy. I definitely see you.
Anyway, hey, listen, it was an awesome way to end the regular season. Everybody stepped up. I do want to point out a couple key factors.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I noticed is how great did the offensive line do for Tom Brady. I think they only got one sack today.
One sack altogether. Yes, one sack. Am I correct? You're absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Overall, but I think as far as the offensive line, everybody when it goes to that, when it goes to those key positions, on the offensive line,
mm-hmm.
I think we're good there. I am really glad to see everybody step up. By the way, everybody was pissed all week about AB and all about those incentives. It was awesome just to prove a freaking point that it was never about the money. Tom Brady made damn sure to make sure that Gronk got his incentives. He make sure everybody broke those records today. Look at Mike Evans. He got his 1,000 yards. So just to go to all those people that were defending AB this week about, it's all about the money. It was never about the money. This was never about the money.
Mm-hmm.
They've always paid out. You do your job, you get paid out. So all that nonsense about AB this week and all that crap was, but they were trying to scheme about money. No, it was never about the money, man.
Sure.
It's never about the money.
Well, it's not about the money because at the end of the day, we all know that Tom Brady is going to get his guys the incentives. That's what he did last year for AB, and that's what he did for Gronk in this game. Once again, 6 catches for 130 yards, and he made $1 million in incentives today. So, but at the end of the day, also, Brady is going to go to the guy that's open, and it goes back to what Tony Romo was saying during the game. These guys have to beat their one-on-one matchups. And you saw some major coverage breakdowns by the Panthers in this game. And look, this Panthers defense was pretty good coming in. I think they're number 2 with passing defense. But, once again, the Bucs and Tom Brady shredded them. And it was good to see, once again, Gronkowski step up. You saw Mike Evans, who's Mr. Consistent for this team. Rashard Perryman makes some big catches. Tyler Johnson makes some big catches.
I'm so happy that Mike Evans got his 1,000 yards. I was gonna be pissed if he didn't get those 1,000 yards, but I know Tom Brady was having that in the back of his mind. I know he was gonna take care of him. So it was good. It was good to see that.
Yeah.
I really hope Tom Brady gets that MVP. There's no reason why. I know it's a tough battle between him and Aaron. What do you think? Your thoughts on that?
I mean, for me, I'm biased about this, but I don't know how you can actually not give Tom Brady the award. I mean, he's 44 years old, doing something that no other quarterback has done in NFL history. 43 touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen, and now over 5,000 passing yards to become the all-time Bucs leader with passing yardage, surpassing Jameis Winston.
And they're going to say, well, the reason why Aaron Rodgers get it because of all the injuries that they have on their team. But look at our team.
Right.
I mean, all year long, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened. We still stepped up, and we won almost all of our games.
Yep.
So I gotta say, what a heck of a year it's been for the Buccaneers. All things aside, I think it was absolutely tremendous to go out there and kick ass after all that drama this week.
Yep.
It was amazing to see everybody step up and have an absolutely fantastic, a game. So now we got to figure out. Now I'm nervous about the Eagles. I guess when it comes to the playoff time, I'm always nervous.
Sure.
But
I think there's
the game.
Well, I think it's a good matchup. I think it's the matchup you wanted. And look, the Eagles are a young team. They're still trying to figure out if Jalen Hurts is their quarterback of the future. But making the playoffs, his first year of starting full time, and of course, they want to come down here and beat this team, but it's going to be tough. They are good up front, so this offensive line is going to have some type of challenge at the end of the day. But for me, the matchup you have to look for is hopefully you're getting back a Shaq Barrett and a JPP so you can contain Jalen Hurts. You want your best guys at the point of attack. That's not saying that Anthony Nelson, Joe Tryon, Shayenka can't do the job, but you feel better about it because you saw last year in the postseason what Shaq Barrett can really bring to the table. Vita Vea coming off the contract extension. Great job by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an organization. 4 years, something like $73 million. So a big time signing out there. Bucs fans who wanted Derwin James turned out to be a pretty damn solid pick. He's pushing the middle. You have Ndamukong Suh. Nacho today making a play there to cause a fumble for Antoine Winfield to recover it. So you got a pretty good rotation. You've got to get healthy, and hopefully you can get Shaq back and JPP so they can, basically contain a Jalen Hurts who can not only hurt you with his legs, but also hurt you with his arm. But more than likely with this kid, you've got to contain him. If you can contain him, I think he could beat the Eagles. I like the matchup. And of course, look, now that you got the number 2 seed, and a lot of fans out there didn't think it was going to happen. Even national pundits didn't think it's going to happen. You're guaranteed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2 home playoff games, which is huge for this team going forward because they play their best football at home. So
I'm just so glad that we are not going to face the freaking Rams. Is that still a possibility?
I've got to see how it's all going to work out, but to tell you the truth, my brain is mushed today.
I don't know why, but I'm not really nervous about the Packers as much as I am the Rams. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know why you're nervous about the Rams because the way Stafford has played this last month has been terrible.
Yeah,
He's
the
been
way he
terrible.
threw that game away, the way he just threw that game away was insane.
Well, and not only that, but look, you're trying to throw the ball to Odell Beckham, and it looked like he wanted Odell to come back for it. Of course, Odell is trying to run a route. I mean, you don't know. He was a late add to it. That offensive line has been atrocious, and it was atrocious today to the 49ers. Give the 49ers credit. They did everything they could to get after Stafford. And they came to play. They came to play. And even Greg Kittle said before the game, look, this is a body bag game. People were like, what does that mean? That means I'm going to hit you in your mouth and kill you. And that's exactly what the 49ers did to the Rams.
Even the Eagles have been doing a pretty decent job over the past couple of weeks. Am I correct? Besides this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's up and down. I mean, that NFC East is just, I mean, they got waxed last night by Dallas, but, they didn't play really any of their starters, but it was impressive to say the least, Dallas going into the playoffs. But, playoffs, of course, they cost themselves when they lost to Arizona, and Arizona lost to Seattle. So you cannot
I was shocked.
figure out the NFL right now.
I couldn't believe that game. But listen, the happiest thing about today.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
The Saints got eliminated.
Yes. Exactly. Let's go ahead and fire the cannons for that.
Yes.
Because they're absolutely done.
I was praying please, guys, please. I don't want the Saints this year. They need to kick it to the grave this year or have a good offseason. Yes. But anyway, listen, Pete, I'm gonna call in. Are you having a show tomorrow? I'm gonna call in and get some more thoughts overnight.
I don't think we're gonna have a show tomorrow because the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia. So we'll give you guys a break.
Right.
Maybe we'll go a little bit earlier. We may go maybe 7 o'clock. Maybe we'll go 7 o'clock tomorrow. We'll try to go. We'll see if we can get Leo Haggerty on. We'll go ahead and talk about this Bucs win and then preview Alabama and Georgia. So tune in then. All right, my friend?
Sweet. All right, AP. It's always a pleasure, man. It's been an awesome season. I hope we kick ass and win the Super Bowl, man, and go back to back.
Absolutely.
Well, let's see.
Yes.
Hey. As Tom Brady said, though, as he said today in the post conference, just take one game at a time.
That's it.
One game at a time.
One game at a time, my friend. Thanks a lot for calling the Evolution. Let me go ahead and give you the
How about
Byron.
them Bucks, baby?
Let me give you that Ric Flair, and let me go ahead and fire those cannons. Thanks a lot for the call. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. How you feeling, Bucs fans? Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 13-4 as they defeat the Carolina Panthers 41-17 to get the number 2 seed. Send a Christmas card to John Lynch and thank him for that because the 49ers took care of business. They beat the Rams in LA 27-24 in overtime. Let's go ahead and read these comments. Once again, Vaughn is getting better, just needs some reps. Dave, remember Rojo his first year? Absolutely. You have to use the old Tampa Bay Mike Vick defense against the Eagles, spy him up. And that's where you hope that Levante David is healthy. Because nothing against Kevin Mentor, but he's not Levante David. He's not. Serviceable backup, but not as good as Levante David. And that defense is missing something. Devin White, I think I have 1 tackle or 2 tackles today. I don't know what's going on with him. So he's missing Levante David, that's for sure. So you get Levante David back, you get JPP back, you get Shaq Barrett back, and you feel very happy. Because finally, you have your number 1 defense on the field together since week 1. It's amazing. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Dave, Levante will be huge if he makes it back against the Eagles. There you go. Bingo. Right there. Christopher Cole, Packers have been lucky the last 4 games. I guess it's better to be lucky than good, but once again, I think there's any team that can be beat in the National Football League. We saw that today. I mean, what did you think about the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Indianapolis Colts? Who would have thought that? Huh? And Indy is eliminated. Goodbye. Goodbye. And to tell you the truth, I thought the Colts would be one of the most dangerous teams that they got in the playoffs. You know why? Running game, defense. Oh, but what happened? Carson Wentz turning over the ball, doing Carson Wentz things. And look who has the last laugh at the end of the day. The Philadelphia Eagles. Amazing. All right, let's see. Ben saying fire Leftwich. You get this.
Shut up!
Tammy Freed and Tammy, awesome. Thank you very much. Dave says, and Mike broke his season touchdown record in courts. Let's go back to the second quarter. The very, very before the 2-minute warning, that's when the Bucs start to turn it on there. 8 plays, 92 yards after. I can't understand this, why teams continue to try to run versus this Buccaneer defense, especially in the middle. You have to explain this to me. I get it. The Bucs defense this year against the run hasn't been top notch, but you continue to run against Sue and Vea. And that's what the Carolina Panthers tried to do. And the Bucs stuffed them. And they get back the ball. They go 8 plays for 92 yards. Big play there on 3rd and 10 at the 8-yard line. 37 yards to Mike Evans. Huge play in that drive. And then you also get some catches from Gronkowski and Perryman with a unbelievable catch, 24 yards to the 8. And then after that, Brady goes to Le'Veon Bell right before the half. Huge swing of momentum. Because now instead of being down 7-3, you're up 10-7. And then you get the ball back and you go down and you're up 17-7. And now you've got Carolina on the ropes. And then your defense comes out and they go 3 and out. And that's impressive. That's what you have to do. And I get it. We always talk about this team, playing 4 quarters of football and they don't always do it. But boy, they turn it on at the right time, don't they? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. Did you all see SMB? Arians needs to cut him already. They need to cut you.
Shut up!
All right, so let's go out to the phone lines here. Welcome to the Evolution after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the Carolina Panthers. Well, I don't know who that was, but I guess call back if you want to. Let's go out to Troy again. Bucs are so bad that even Peter doesn't care about covering their pregame anymore. That is not true. I will give you a pregame show next week here. I keep on getting texts from people. You have to understand here. So just relax and I will get out to you again. Open phone line 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Don't forget that Sherman will be back in the fold. You hope. I mean, you haven't really gotten much from him this year because he's been hurt. Let's go out to Dave. Who dat? Not the Saints. I agree with you. I mean, there's nothing better than winning versus the Carolina Panthers, securing the 2nd seed, and then on top of it, the Saints are not going anywhere.
How about no?
Yes, they are not going anywhere. I love it. I love it. I have all these great stuff. I mean, victory Sunday, victory Monday, but the Saints are not in the playoffs.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
Beautiful. All right. Christopher Cole, 49ers will beat the Cowboys. We shall see about that. That'll be a good matchup. That'll be one of the matchups we'll look at. We don't know the dates and times yet, to be determined. So once we have those dates and times, we'll get you updated here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Dave says, Tom Brady for MVP. Thank you. 44-year-old quarterback, 43 touchdowns. What else do you want? But I get it. Aaron Rodgers having a great year also, especially with the touchdown to interception ratio, and then also being the number 1 seed this year also helps. How are you doing tonight, Peter? It's been a while. It's been a while, David. Why has it been so long? Why are you guys not calling in more tonight? Aren't you happy about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Doing great, Dave. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the Evolution. Joe Judge called a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 8, and that made Leftwich look good. Well, smart ass, it wasn't Leftwich calling the play. It was actually Matt Rule of the Carolina Panthers calling the sneak, which I don't understand at that point. Now, you just continue to get on the show and say how bad Leftwich is, and this team continues to score over 30 points a game, which makes no sense. So once again, you're just trolling.
Shut up!
I'm not a big fan of Joe Judge, so I don't understand the call either. Talk about the breaking news. Bob Saget dead at 65. Wow. It's been a tough one here to start the year and end the year. Betty White, John Madden. Unbelievable. Moment of silence. All right, we'll do that. All right. I love seeing Scotty running behind a pulling Hennessy. Absolutely. Or Hansy. It's not Hennessy. Hansy. And that was the end around there for 33 yards. It's good to see him in the offense because he has that speed component at the end of the day. That's exactly what you want. You want to see him get more involved in this offense. Guys, once again, have to step up. We can talk about it to the sun doesn't shine. You know? They're not going to have Antonio Brown. They're not going to have Chris Godwin. They're going to have what they have. T.O.'s not coming here. Larry Fitzgerald's not coming here. The Bucs are going to run with what they have. You're going to have to be confident. Sit back, relax, let Brady do it. And we'll see what they can do. But we know that this team, once again, took care of business today. versus the Carolina Panthers, 41-17, and they will be the number 2 seed here. I'm your host, Peter Blake, live here on the Sports Web. Let's go out to Dave. Which would hurt more, losing Byron or Todd? I hope you don't lose any, but more than likely you could lose somebody, right? I mean, because Byron Leftwich is a hot commodity. He's a hot candidate in NFL coaching circles. And Jacksonville, to me, that would be your number 1 hire. He knows the organization. He's been a quarterback before. He's had success the last 3 years, no matter what Troy Polamalu tells you, no matter how many people say, will you play with Tom Brady? Okay, but you still have success to run off of. That's a young name I would hire if I'm Jacksonville. So that would hurt to a certain degree. But you may lose him. Would you lose Todd Bowles also? You may lose both. I don't want to even think about it at this point. But you know what I think. I think Byron Leftwich will be the future coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We shall see. Dave says Kenny Britt needs to play more over Mentor. I don't know if that's going to happen. We shall see. Good to hear Gio coming back to practice. I mean, anybody at this point coming back in that running back room is good. And they didn't do a lot of running today, but when they had to do it, they mixed it around. You saw the game plan open up. That's what you see. That's encouraging to see. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to, I don't know what this is, Vom Ung. And let's go out to Fat Mike here, Chicago Sports Bap second. Not just a childish Full House, but a great adult dirty comic. Sad. Absolutely. What wasn't sad today is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that third quarter when they gave up a field goal there, 17-10. They go 6 plays, 75 yards, 20-yard touchdown to Mike Evans. And that's his 43rd touchdown right there to break the record. It's tremendous. I mean, beating coverage, people say Mike Evans can't beat coverage. He beat coverage today. He did. So that was impressive. He got his record. Brady played well today, as expected. 44-year-old quarterback. You know how I feel about this guy. I just continue to say, if you have Brady, you got an opportunity to win some football games going forward. So, Troy Polamalu, Leftwich. Yeah. So, yes, Leftwich. I like Leftwich. Yes. Tell you what, let's go out because this guy called before and I want to get him on. I want to hear how he did today. Let's see if he will call in. Let's see if we can get Mr. Harry the Greek on the line here. And once we get him on the line, he'll give us our thoughts on this big Bucs victory. And then on top of it, how he did, which I know he wasn't necessarily happy about the Rams losing to the 49ers. Go Bucs all day long. Love it. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons. And we didn't get them on. So, Harry the Greek, if you want to call back, you're more than welcome to do that. Once again, going through some statistics here. Of course, the Panthers get off to a good start. I think there's a lot of Bucs fans out there that were freaking out after they did that. Hubbard with the touchdown there. And really after that, they didn't do much. They were in the game 24-17 with Roddy Anderson on fourth down. Saw a blitz. It looked like it was Devin White on that. Didn't get to him. It was 24-17, but after that, Bucs took care of business. So your thoughts, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. And again, just go back to the action today, any given Sunday. And I think we're in for it. And look, if the NFL wanted to have this suspense or wanted to have all this, these scenarios and must-see TV when it comes to football, congratulations. You did a good job today. Because Week 18 was crazy in itself. And it started out with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Are you serious? Who would have thought that? The Colts are eliminated. The Steelers win in overtime over Baltimore. So get this, guys. This game tonight, which we'll get off here in a little bit, Raiders and the Chargers, okay? If they tie, they both make it in. If one of those teams wins, they're in and the Steelers are in. I can't make this stuff up. I can't. So good for the NFL. Let's go ahead and keep on reading these comments. Hey, what's up, Skinny Mike? Okay, Christopher Cole. I like to see Lenny and Bell on the field at the same time. I think it's certainly possible. And we'll see if they can get back a Leonard Fournette, because he would be big to this offense. Not saying that Keyshawn Vaughn did a bad job today. They didn't really run the ball that much. They didn't. But again, when they had to call on 21 to pass protect, he was doing a good job. Because once again, this line only gave up 1 sack. So yes, you definitely want Fournette back. You want your whole running back room back if you can get it. Harry said he wants Leftwich in Chicago. I know that Harry didn't say that.
Shut up!
But I will tell you, as we're doing the Bucs post game here live on the Sports Web after the Bucs take care of business 41-17 over the Carolina Panthers to go 13-4, the number 2 seed right now, and it's looking like it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. We still don't know what time that game is going to be. Is it going to be on a Saturday? Is it going to be on a Sunday? Will it be the Monday night primetime game, which has never happened in playoff history? We will keep you abreast of that situation. I do have a couple candidates for the Chicago Bear job. Bears fans, you can call in. NFL fans, you can call in. Doesn't just have to be Bucs fans on this show. Jim Harbaugh, to me, is the number 1 candidate because Vic Fangio, his former defensive coordinator, got fired today from the Denver Broncos, and I could see it. This is a slam dunk hire for the Chicago Bears. You get Jim Harbaugh, who's been very successful in the National Football League with the San Francisco 49ers. Well, ask and you shall receive calls. So let's go out to this guy here. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly after the Bucs win and get the number 2 seed. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is James, my friend, originally from St. Pete, but I live in Clare, Michigan.
Very good. Very good. First time caller on the Sports Web. Thanks a lot. We'll go ahead and fire the cannons for that. What do you have to say? What's your thoughts on this Bucs big victory?
I have to say 100%. It wasn't pretty at the beginning, but absolutely we did what we had to do in the second half. We won a tremendous, beautiful game, and I have to add, I wish you could call games over Romo, because we all do not want to hear him call another Bucs game.
Hey, James, I wish I would make the same money as Romo, the $18 million a year, and who knows, maybe I would do that. But, I get what you're saying, because there are times where you definitely learn something from Romo, and he's trying to give away a play, and he's not really calling it right. I don't think he knows the Bucs offense, honestly, because I saw it a couple of times. But it can become annoying and monotonous. I get that. I appreciate that comment. I just try to stick with analysis, but it would be kind of cool to have that job, especially with making $18 million. What else did you have to say about this?
Absolutely. And I have to say, it's good to, we're moving on from AB. It's time to, put him to the curb.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, it hurts, with Cyril going down like he did.
Well, we don't know. It's a hamstring injury, and those are always tricky at the end of the day, James, because they can be lingering. We saw it hamper of Mike Evans. So hopefully he's not going to miss that game. But you would think if it's a serious deal that he may miss a couple of games there, which is disappointing because Grayson was really stepping up into this offense. And now it comes back to a Bashard Perryman. It comes back to a Tyler Johnson. And guys like Gronk and Mike Evans, you figure that defenses are going to try to do everything they can to stop them. So Brady's going to have to find a way for these other guys to step up. And it's going to be, for me, Bashard Perryman coming to this team has made some big catches today, especially that drive that got them into business for their first touchdown drive right before halftime. What did you think?
No, absolutely. What scared me, though, was him grabbing his hamstring there. I can't remember if it was the second or the third quarter. But that kind of worried me, as well.
Yeah. I mean, this Buccaneer team has definitely been bitten by the injury bug, and it's disappointing because if you think about it, they could just stay healthy a little bit. We haven't had the whole defense on the field together for an entire week since week 1. And guess what, James? You may get that, knock on wood, hopefully,
Absolutely.
versus the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah, I mean, again, they got to get healthy. And it starts up front with JPP and, of course, Shaq Barrett, because you definitely have, a tough matchup with Jalen Hurts, a young quarterback who hurt the Bucs early on this year with over 100 rushing yards. So that's what you got to worry about when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're a young team. They're trying to learn how to win, and they want to come in here and beat Tom Brady. And, of course, they're going to be motivated to do that. But the Bucs got to play their best game, and it starts with, once again, getting healthy up front with JPP and Shaq. What else, James?
Absolutely. I agree. We have the entire depleted defense coming back strong.
Yeah.
And I truly think that defense is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
Especially after the showing today. They couldn't stop the run.
Sure.
Which we were known for.
Yeah.
And, I think, I truly think that defense is going to be fired up strong next week. We are going to win in Tampa.
Yeah, you got to win in Tampa, and that's the great thing about getting that second seed and taking care of business versus the Panthers is now you're going to be guaranteed 2 home games. What do you think about that? You feel a lot better about it? I know that there are a lot of Bucs fans out there, even nationally, that were kind of up in arms about AB not being on this team and Godwin being hurt. You feeling confident with this offense going into the postseason next week?
I do think, I think the offense is going to go ahead and do their thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a defensive stand.
Yeah, it's going to be,
100%.
your defense is definitely going to have to step up. And you think Tom Brady's the MVP this year, my friend?
100%.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope. Hey, and that Rolex, I just got to say, looks great on you, my friend.
Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Definitely don't be a stranger here. Use that second call if you want to on the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television live on I Love St. Pete. All right, my friend?
Hey, sounds great. Have a great night, my friend.
I will do that. I'll give you the Byron
How
Leftwich.
about them Bucks, baby?
Yeah, I'll give you the
Go
woo.
Bucs! Yes, Byron.
Yes, and I'll give you the cannon right there. Good stuff, James. Thanks a lot. First time caller out of Michigan. Gotta love that, don't you? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Tyler or Dave here. Tyler Johnson seems lost still in this offense. Had to be corrected by Brady 2 or 3 times a day. I agree with that earlier on. And it looked like, and even Romo pointed this out, where Johnson needs to sit down in the route, and he doesn't sit down, and he's still running, and Brady's trying to get the ball to him and doesn't get to it. So those things are the type of stuff that has to be worked out. Those are the communication things that can hurt your offense going forward. And those are the kind of things you have to correct, and you have to correct them quick. And you believe this Bucs team will do that, because if they don't do that, then those are the type of mistakes that you look at that will cost this team going forward. So agree with you on that. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan Legend SC. Mr. Khan said he is trying to tank the Jaguars on purpose so he can move them to London. They're not moving to London. Stop it. They're not going to London. Perryman should have stayed in Tampa. We know how to use him. And I always talked about him when he was productive in this Bucs offense, right? Grass isn't greener on the other side. Even though you get a lot more money with the New York Jets, guess what happens? Not good. You're not the same player. You're not. So he definitely works in this offense. And he hasn't worked with the Jets, the Lions, the Bears. Of course, my co-host Harry the Greek would say he's not a Brashard Perryman fan. But I tell you right now, he's made some big catches in this offense, and he offers, once again, that speed threat. We saw it. We saw him win that Bills game. We saw it today with the footwork. Bucs rushing down to get the snap and then come out, go pass play action to Le'Veon Bell for their first touchdown, which was huge. Because again, you don't want to go into the locker room down 7-3. Not the way this Bucs offense played. And again, looking at Brady's numbers to start the game, 5 for 10, 34 yards. After that, he was cooking. 15 for 21, 191, 1 touchdown. That's how you got to do it. Let's go out to sitting here. All we need to do is just win one game at a time. I know it's boring. I know it's very, very boring to say, but you're exactly right. It's playoff time, and you got to step up your game. And we'll get the latest with their injury situation. We'll try to figure this out because Jamel Dean went out with a hamstring injury. So you hope it's, again, not serious. But boy, oh boy, this team has been bitten by the injury bug. I tell you that right now. Bitten, big time. Let's go out to sitting. No turnovers, no penalties. It works every time. It does. Play a clean game. Easy. Troy Polamalu Leftwich is just a spy for the Jaguars. Okay.
Shut up!
Okay, so once again, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business. 41-17 over the Carolina Panthers to secure the number 2 seed. It is all but assured they will play the Philadelphia Eagles at Raymond James Stadium. Once again, we don't have a time. And let me go ahead and check and see if the time has been announced right now. Let's see if that's happening. But open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Going back to the statistics for the day, Chuba Hubbard, 9 for 48. DJ Moore had a pretty good game, 7 for 87. Looked like he had an injury before the game was over. Roddy Anderson, of course, 7 catches for 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Bucs only gave up 1 sack. You look at other statistics in this game, clear domination by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, over 400 total yards, 324. Of course, we talked about Brady rushing the ball, 85 yards. So you'll take that. You'll take that all day long. Of course, it goes back to Scotty Miller with his end around. Keyshawn Vaughn, only 10 for 29. Le'Veon Bell. So this team definitely has to get a little bit healthier here, as I am just looking to see if there has been any announcement at this point. Let's see here. Hold on a sec. NFC wildcard matchups right now are set. Eagles, of course, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 49ers are at the Cowboys, and the Cardinals at the Rams. Of course, the Packers have the bye, but no times have been announced yet. And let's see this latest story here as Twitter is reacting to it. They want Tom Brady. So, of course, who doesn't want Tom Brady? Everybody wants Tom Brady at this point. So let's keep on reading these comments. After how this season plays out, we have to draft more DBs. Dean is good, but he's injured too much. But he really stepped up this year. And look, you don't anticipate missing out on a Carlton Davis the majority of the year, and you don't anticipate having SMB go down. But once those players go down, then you're depending on players that you're not supposed to depend on. I don't think the Bucs have done a bad job of drafting. I just think it happens. You know, you deal with it, you go for it, and this Bucs team has been able to go for it. Could you draft another defensive back? Sure you could, because Carlton Davis is a free agent, and more than likely he's going to command a big-time contract, as he should, and he's earned it. And we'll see where the Bucs go with that. They've already signed their own in Vita Vea with a extension last night. And they usually take care of their guys that need to be taken care of. What about 87? We talked about it. I mean, Rob Gronkowski, 6 catches for 130 yards. I mean, and that's huge. That's huge to see that. And that really is Tom Brady's security blanket, and isn't it? That's his security blanket. That's the guy he's going to go to. And don't be surprised to see more of a 2 tight end set, because they're going to try to find the matchups. They're going to try to find those one-on-one matchups, and whoever wins them, of course, is going to get the ball at the end of the day. Let's go out to Dave. Gronk is always clutch. Exactly. I mean, again, you have your fair share of injuries, and we talked about it, but you still got Gronk on this team, and you still got Mike Evans. You do. Let's see here. Just looking at some things really quick. I don't see anything at this point. So ask Chase Young about wanting Tom Brady. Exactly. I mean, that's what we heard last year. How Chase Young wanted Tom Brady. How did that work out? Did he even have a tackle in that game? Didn't work out very well for him. So Be careful what you wish for, Philadelphia. We know the history when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't have to spell it out for you, do I? NFC Championship game, Rondé Barber, 92 yards to the house. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then the very next year, opening up the link, closing it down with a 17-0 drubbing of them on Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah.
Still remember that, right? Still remember this year beating them? What was it, 27-17? Somewhat of a close game, but not really. Of course, AB went out in that game, was hurt. The Bucs had their hurt corners. This actually may be the first week, knock on wood, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have their full complement of their number one defense on the field together. Right? How could you not be excited about that? Huh? I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll take more calls for you from on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. You're on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Keep it locked.
Hey, Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
All right, welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So what did you think about this day overall with the Week 18? Do you like it? Do you like the number one seed, the only seed getting the bye week? It kind of makes things entertaining, doesn't it? I mean, again, if this is the NFL, this is what they wanted. This is what they got. You were all watching the scores today, weren't you, on both conferences? I go back to Jacksonville eliminating the Colts. Who would have thought that? Who bet that game? Try to look at the other scores on this. Let me look at the other scores because I'm not sure who else won. Because I've been watching today the Bucs. Right now, the Raiders are winning 10-7. Saints won 30-20 over the Atlanta Falcons, but they are not going to be in the playoffs. You got to love that. You got the Cardinals losing to the Seahawks 38-30. The Jets lose to the Buffalo Bills 27-10. And look at this surprise. The Dolphins win 33-24 over the New England Patriots, which means the Buffalo Bills have won the AFC East. Amazing. Congratulations to the Buffalo Bills.
Yes! Yes!
Of course, the Bucs win 41-17. Other scores around the league. We talked about the Vikings game, 31-17. Watch that game. The Bears were up 14-0 at halftime. And the story should be Matt Nagy should be fired tomorrow because that offense sputtered in the red zone multiple times. And I told you already who I think the candidates are going to be. Jim Harbaugh, your head coach and offensive coordinator, and Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator. Lions win today. Surprising, right? They played hard all year long, 37-30 over the Green Bay Packers. You got the Browns 21-16 over the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot remains there with Baker Mayfield. We don't know what the future is. Of course, last night, Cowboys 51-26 and a preseason tune-up, if you will, because the Eagles didn't play Jalen Hurts and a lot of their starters. You got the Chiefs surviving the Broncos 28-24. Washington over the New York Giants 22-7. Of course, the Steelers 16-13. The big upset of the day, the Jacksonville Jaguars 26-11, eliminating the Indianapolis Colts. Amazing. Any given Sunday. You don't say it enough. And of course, the Titans becoming the number 1 seed in the AFC, 28-25. And of course, a lot of Bucs fans cared about this score in overtime. 49ers beat the Rams 27-24. So those are the scores around the league. Of course, the Bucs win here 41-17 over the Carolina Panthers to secure the number 2 seed. Congratulations. Open phone line if you want to talk about it. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Dave says Chris Godwin is number 1 priority. I agree. Even with him coming off that torn ACL, he's earned it. The kid has absolutely earned a contract extension. And if you're Chris Godwin, I get it. You may get big money somewhere else, but why would you want to leave this offense when you're completely thriving, when you have your other counterpart there in Mike Evans? You assume, even if you don't win the Super Bowl this year, that Tom Brady will come back. He's still at a high level in his game. So if you have all those components at the end of the day, if you're Chris Godwin, why would you leave? Besides money, it doesn't seem like the type of guy to do that. And then on top of it, his value may be a little bit low because of coming off the injury. I think the Bucs will get him signed. He is the number 1 priority. Good stuff there. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for that. Good stuff. Let's go out to Dave again. How big has Brate been this year? I remember people wanting him gone, and that's the reason why you keep him in. Because he's made big catches over the year. And when you're not going to Gronk, you go to Brate. Because we have not seen O.J. Howard. We have not. And I don't think he's fully recovered from that injury. So you're exactly right. And that is the reason why on this show, when people were calling up and saying, trade Brate, trade Howard, keep them both. Because you saw Gronk get hurt this year, and you saw them kind of scrambling. Because Howard hasn't fully recovered yet, and Brady's been big this year. So that's the reason why this organization decided to keep both. And then on top of it, their injury histories. Howard coming off the injury, he's never been able to stay fully healthy for a full year. I think this probably is the year he's done that, knock on wood. And Brady's also had his injury troubles, but big-time catches, especially last week by Cameron Brate. Especially on that 4th down versus the Jets last week. Big-time catches. Let's go out to Troy Polamalu here. He said he wants to talk Bears football, not Bucs football. I doubt it. I think Harry's probably watching the game. Defense needs to stay in man defense. Yes, sir. They're going to switch it around. It comes back down to pressure, especially if you're going to blitz. But once again, you feel good if you're getting everybody back in the fold. You do. You feel good about that. Hopefully you can do it. Dave says, I know it's on the playoffs, but I still feel I know it's on to the playoffs, but I still feel like you got to rub it in Panthers fans here in North Carolina. Good stuff. We'll do that because the Bucs swept the Panthers this year. How about that? Fire those cannons on that. As they should. And they swept the Falcons. They didn't do anything against the Saints. But, breaking news, the Saints are not in the playoffs. All right, let's go out to Dave here. We have Tom Brady for one more year? I think you do, absolutely. There's been no talk of retirement at this point. The Bucs will take care of it. They'll get it done. Let's go out to Dave. Bears are hibernating, especially when they get into the red zone. It's disappointing because, I do another show called The Over-Under on 1252 Chicago Sports, and you see all this potential, and they go down the field, and for some unknown reason, and thank God, Bucs fans, you don't have to deal with this, but on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, you're not running the ball. You're going for shotgun. You're putting the ball in Andy Dalton's hands, which I told you at the beginning of the year, if Andy Dalton is your starting quarterback, 'cause- 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 'cause play calling to me is just absolutely abysmal. And, I've been clear about this when it comes to Matt Nagy. To me, he should have been fired against the Browns, that Browns game. When he didn't have his rookie quarterback, or he didn't have a game plan set up for his rookie quarterback to succeed, he should have been fired.
Screw you! You're fired!
And we'll see how many coaches tomorrow on Black Monday are fired. There are going to be quite a few. So I'll probably go live a little bit earlier. We'll talk football. We'll talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Looking at some of these comments. Somebody asked me, and I'll look at this comment here. Hey, Pete, how are you feeling about the matchup with Philadelphia? Do we see Shaq and JPP in the first game? Happy Victory Monday, by the way. You hope that you can get him back. That's what the Bucs are anticipating. That's what you want. And a lot of people say it's not possible. It is. I get it. You got lots of injuries. There's a lot of fear out there, but it's possible. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen last year. This team didn't go on an offensive explosion. They didn't. They ran the ball. They were balanced. They played defense. They caused turnovers. They got up to the opposing quarterback. I mean, it's that easy. It's not as hard as you think it is. It's not. So I think Zimmerman's gone. Yes, I do think he's gone. I think he could be gone. I mean, look, when your whole deal is to be a defensive-minded coach and you're last in the league, you ain't going to last. No.
Screw you! You're fired!
And I feel bad for him. I really do. I feel bad. Because I think he is a good coach. But the results are underwhelming. And when you pay that much to a Kirk Cousins, you got to be better offensively. You do. Jefferson on the outside, Thielen, they got some weapons. Dalvin Cook when he can stay healthy, but the defense has been absolutely atrocious. And that's why it's so mind-numbing to watch that Bears game today and see the Bears struggle in the red zone. Amazing. All right. Let's talk about better things here. Let's recap it. Bucs win 41-17. Brady 29 for 37, 3 touchdowns, 326 yards, 43 touchdowns at 44 years old. Amazing. Also captures the Bucs record for all-time passing yards, 5,113, surpassing Jameis Winston, and surpassed his own record of 40 touchdowns last year with his 41st. Again, 43 touchdowns for the year. On top of that, Mike Evans, 6 catches for 89 yards, becomes the first player in NFL history with 8 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start his career. Amazing. The guy is a shoo-in Hall of Famer at this juncture. And then, of course, you got Rob Gronkowski, the ageless veteran, 6 catches for 130 yards. They get off to a slow start, but once again, the Bucs take care of business to go to 13-4, and that also is a franchise record for wins. So there you go. Brady goes in the Ring of Honor easily. I don't care how many years he's been here. And you come in here in 2 years and you'll basically smash every Bucs passing record and possibly have an opportunity to win another Super Bowl. And if you do that, yeah, he's definitely in the Ring of Honor. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. I didn't think the defense played bad today. Give up a lot of big plays, had a couple big runs here and there. Again, a drive in the fourth quarter, which makes it close. Give Sam Darnold some credit. I don't know if he's the quarterback for the future of the Carolina Panthers. I don't know who the quarterback of the future is. You got to get an offensive line in front of him. But 8 plays, 56 yards. Once again, Robbie Anderson on 4th down. It looked like the Bucs were blitzing SMB had good coverage. It was just it was a better throw. And only person that was making that catch at that point was Robbie Anderson. So yeah. Besides that, again, Sam Darnold, 29 for 42, 219, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. DJ Moore, 7 catches for 87 yards. Roddy Anderson, 7 catches for 50, along with the touchdown. By the way, a guy needs to stop celebrating when he doesn't get a first down. And they were in a situation today where he's celebrating, and it's like 2nd and 20. He doesn't even reach the first down. I get it. You're excited about the game, but it's not even the first down. I mean, this is a couple weeks ago when they were down 32-6. I mean, keep it in perspective. Just give the ball to the ref and call it a day, kid. And the Bucs call it a day. So with that being said, I'm going to get off here. We'll be back tomorrow night, I promise, before the national championship game. We will not go at 9 o'clock. We'll go at 7 o'clock here, live on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. We'll try to get the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions. And, of course, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Chicago Sports. So, without further ado, how do we end this off? It's Victory Sunday, Victory Monday, Bucs fans, as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the Carolina Panthers, 41-17 to go to 13-4. By the way, I was 1 game off. I said 14-3. My bad. But still, postseason awaits. We'll see what time and what day they play the Philadelphia Eagles coming to Raymond James Stadium. They also secure the number 2 seed, which basically guarantees them, it guarantees them 2 home playoff games. Do 3 things here on the Sports Web. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, giving you something to think about. Have a great day and a great night, Bucs fans, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. You know what? Let's come back. I tell you what, let's come back. Oh, there you go. Let's go out to this guy right here. We'll come back. We won't go anywhere. Let me go ahead and get this guy's walk-up music on. Here we go. All right, Mr. Sean, the Sports Don. My former co-host of this show. We were about to end it. We played the outro, but we're coming back to you. Your thoughts on your Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Carolina Panthers 41-17 to become the number 2 seed. Sean, go for it, my friend.
Oh, brother, first of all, you ain't getting my markup music go. Ain't nobody dope as me.
You sang it.
I'm just so fresh and so
clean. So fresh and so clean. Yes, we got to do that.
Sir.
Yes, we absolutely have to do that. And look, I can't get copyright because I'm monetized on YouTube. So I try to,
Got you.
walk the line a little bit. Yes.
I did that.
That's
so
okay.
That's
okay. So give me your thoughts on this win and the surprising result of the Rams losing to the San Francisco 49ers. John Lynch, our old buddy there with the 49ers, helping us out. Feels good, right?
Well, it's not a surprise. I think, a lot of times fans get caught up in, you lost to a team that got a worse record than you. It's like similar to when we lost to the Saints the last time. But you got to understand, the Saints have our number. The Saints know us. They're in our division. We play them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we can't seem to get over there. Nobody even brought up the fact that the Rams have lost to the 49ers 5 straight times.
Correct.
Today it makes it 6 straight times.
Well, you must be not watching my show there, because I was the one who said today on various shows that the 49ers were going to beat the Rams, and the reason why is because they're going to punch them in the mouth. Yes.
But here's the thing, though. You
Yes.
just asked me, am I surprised?
Yes, I had to
No,
ask you.
I'm
Okay.
not.
All right.
No, I'm not surprised because,
Okay.
again, I do my research and understand that they know them.
Correct.
Just like I know the Chiefs beat the Broncos 13 straight times. Just because, like, I know we just saw the Jacksonville Jaguars have won, 2 games? Well, 3 now.
Yep.
But they did a Division 4 and kept the Colts from going to the playoffs this year. So when you play Division 4s, throw the record out. But also in the NFL, whenever you play anybody, it's any given Sunday. So I hate when fans say, oh, well, how we lose to this team and this other team that started and beat the team we just lost to.
Right.
Because it's any given Sunday. And we got to stop that. The Bucs won 13 games this year. And if you remember at the beginning of the year, you asked me, how many games, which games the Bucs going to win? I said, I don't do that. I said, if the Bucs don't win at least 13 games, the worst they're going to be is 12-5.
Right.
Right? But they were 13-4. I mean, but there's no way they're going to lose more than 5. I don't know which games they're going to lose. I don't know why they're going to lose it. But they should be at least 12-5. That's the floor.
Sure.
They won 13-4. They're the number 2 seed. You're in a great position. And oh, by the way, we've gone through a lot of adversity this year with a lot of injuries and a lot of players having to play when you didn't really want to have to depend on them. They've had an opportunity to step up. And so that's going to help us moving forward. As I said, that the playoffs are a different animal, though. The playoffs are a different animal.
Well, I mean, and you have to feel good about the matchup versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, the Bucs beat them this year, but the matchup that everybody should be watching for, and you're going to be talking about this ad nauseum, is Jalen Hurts versus hopefully this healthy Bucs defense getting back to form, and Shawnee finally having their whole defense on the field since week 1, getting a Shaq Barrett, a JPP, and of course, a Levante David.
Well, we hope that is the case.
Right.
But, we don't know what the injury situation really is. That's the Bucs being optimistic.
Sure.
And also, by the way, if they do come back, how healthy are they really?
Correct.
I mean,
correct.
JPP has a bum shoulder. I mean, is that shoulder really ready to go, or is he going to look just like he looked 2 or 3 weeks ago before we took
largely
him out?
ineffective? Agree. He's not been the same. Yeah.
I thought we should have taken him out of the lineup a long time ago because I thought we were good enough to continue to win without him necessarily, especially when he was playing as ineffectively as he was. When you look at a guy like Anthony Nelson, who got 5 sacks for you this year, maybe we should have been giving him more reps early because JPP was not ready to go. Maybe we should have been giving Trayon more reps early because JPP was not ready to go because we were very good all around, and I don't think we needed to force JPP. And we was forcing JPP when he had the shoulder and the hand issue. So, but at the end of the day, though, again, the playoffs are a different situation. Hopefully the Bucs are ready and they're mentally prepared because we've gone through adversity. Let's see what we do now when we line up against the Philadelphia Eagles coming on Sunday. Luckily, we got 2 home games.
Well, you got 2 home games, and you're definitely fortunate. We're on with Sean, the Sports Don, co-host from a galaxy far, far away on a radio show called The Sports Web, here live after the Bucs defeat the Carolina Panthers 41-17 to not only get 13 wins, but also secure the number 2 seed. As we say that, Brady, 29 for 37, 326, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 43 touchdowns for the year at 44 years old. In my opinion, he's the MVP. Where do you stand on it?
Listen, obviously, if they give it to him, I understand why they did. This thing is so subjective. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has had a great year, and I can see why they would possibly want to give it to him. Brady, does he deserve it, or is he worthy of it? Yes, he's worthy of it. If they give it to him, I know Brady, he don't care. He just wanted to try to win a championship. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose much sleep over it if he doesn't get it.
Sean, hold on a sec here. Let me put you on hold. Curtis, we got Sean, the Sports Don, on the line. We'll come out to you in a moment. Stand by, okay? All right, let's go back out to Sean here. We got Curtis on the line. Go ahead, Shawnee.
what I was going to say. I'm not going to be disappointed if he doesn't get it because I know Tom Brady is not going to be disappointed if he doesn't get the MVP. So at the end of the day, does he deserve it or is he worthy of it? He's definitely worthy of it. But if somebody else have a different opinion than me, I'm not going to hate on that.
Yeah, and I mean, look, this team started out slow once again, and a lot of Bucs fans freaking out, and it's just kind of what this team is all about. They start out slow, and I get it. They can't do that in the postseason, but you almost feel like, this defense is going to step up. This offense is definitely going to step up, especially Tom Brady. You saw Le'Veon Bell. You saw Mike Evans, the man, the myth, the legend at this point. 8 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons, just amazing. And it was his big play that, to me, really turned the game around. 37 yards, that's what you needed, especially, going 8 plays, 92 yards, starting off in your own end. You needed something to happen, and it happens on third down. Your thoughts on that play and also Mr. Evans and his legacy as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer wide receiver?
Well, first thing I want to say is I don't care about starting slow. Like everybody always do that. Let me say this: in football, you got to play 60 minutes. If you look at Tom Brady's history, there's been plenty of games. We can look at his Super Bowl history where they did not play good in the first part of the game, but they still were able to win the game. We can't worry about starting slow or whatever. Let's win the game. Now, as it relates to Mike Evans, okay. Mike Evans is by far one of the best wide receivers of his generation, and I'm happy for him. And I think it was funny. I think early in his career, a lot of people want to call him Godzilla and everything like that. I think they're trying to make nicknames for him. To me, his nickname is Wolverine. This is the only guy I know that it seems like every game he gets hurt, and it seems like that's a season-ending injury, and he come back 2 plays later, and he goes out there and balls out. Like, I've never seen anybody rejuvenate like this guy. He is Wolverine. I gave him that nickname this year. I haven't been calling you guys for a while, but that's what I've been giving him now. He's Wolverine. It don't matter what happens. He looks like he's hurt. He comes back, and he's playing the next week. Or maybe he sits out a week, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? He comes back next week, and he's just Mike Evans. So hats off to him. He's a Hall of Famer. He's solidified that. All he got to do is continue to do what he's doing. I think he passed what's the 2 guys? I think it was what's the wide receiver for the Rams? Torrey Holt. Yep. And I want to say it was the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. He just passed them for touchdowns all time.
Jason
Witten? Like 75. Yeah, Jason Witten. He got like 75, 76, but he's only played 8 seasons. Like, this guy still has like at least 4 or 5, because he's only like 28. He has like 4 or 5 seasons where he can still play at a high level. Like, his touchdowns are going to be out the roof by the time it's over, man. So he's a Hall of Famer.
All right, I got to give you some kudos here, because Dave England says Mike Evans is the best wide receiver in Bucs history, and Dave also says Wolverine is the best nickname for Mike. Correct, sir. So I'll go ahead and fire the cannons for you. And I'll go ahead and give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
And I tell you right now, there were definitely some people that were concerned when Evans went down. And I got a text message from somebody saying, why not rest Evans? And I said, you got to play to win. And the Bucs have everything there out on the line to win this game. And not only that, they want to get Evans that 1,000-yard receiving season. And they also want to get Rob Gronkowski, who has stepped up the last 2 games. Talk about Mr. Gronk. 6 catches for 130 yards and also receives $1 million in incentives. Tom Brady, once again, getting his guys the money they need, right?
Right. Oh, they did. And, we're playing against a good defense today. That's the number 2 defense in the NFL.
Right.
So you got to say that they played, and you got to understand, too, teams are going to want to look now with the team we have. They're going to look to try to take away Gronk. They're going to look to try to take away Evans. But for those guys to still to go out and have big games, that shows that they are big-time players, because big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. So we're going to need that moving forward in the playoffs. And so for the organization, though, to recognize that, hey, Gronk is this close to getting his incentives. Now, mind you, I don't think Tom Brady went out there and just was going to force it to him, but he knew that Gronk is good enough to where he could get his incentives. just going to force it to Mike Evans, but they knew Mike Evans is good enough to go out there and get that 1,000 yards, and they made it a point to make sure that that happened. And if you're a player, that a young player, and you're in this organization, and you see your organization take care of their veterans like that, you don't want to leave, and you're going to want to fight for this organization because you say, man, I'm in a good place because I could be in a whole nother team and it's not this good. So that does a lot for the culture. And so we could talk about winning Super Bowls every year or whatnot, but maybe this culture will say, where's the team that's going to be a good playoff team every year? Because everybody that comes here knows the mission and they know that the organization got their back. So we're going to play at a level that's going to be conducive to a fan being proud of what the product we put on the field.
All right, we're on with Sean, the sports song. I'm going to ask you this final question. I'll get you out of here. Get to Curtis. You can call back if you like to. We'll be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, right before the national championship game with our buddy, Mr. Leo Haggerty, the legend himself. Vita Vea gets a contract extension. Your thoughts? I mean, I know you were one of those guys out there, Sean, the sports don, who said you wanted Derwin James, but how it ended up, you get an unbelievable defensive tackle that can absolutely penetrate that line. And then on top of it, you have Jordan Whitehead, Antoine Winfield Jr. kind of turned out in the Bucs' favor, right, my friend?
Oh, well, listen, without a doubt, but you got to remember when that happened, you know, you and I both was a Derwin James guy. But when we drafted Vita Vea, I had to say, I'm going to trust my Bucs. And also that, if you remember that offseason,
sure.
What did we do? We signed Mitch Unrein. We signed Bo Allen. The Bucs made a effort to build up their trenches.
Conscious effort, yeah.
We were getting killed.
Yep.
And so when that happened, and you saw what happened the very next year, after Vita Vea's rookie season, they said, you know what, Gerald McCoy, you may not be as stout as we want you to be. We're going to go and get Ndamukong Suh to put him next to Vita Vea to accelerate that stoutness, that toughness that we actually want.
Love it.
So when I called you after that draft, I said, I'm going to support this move because you know what? That's what the Bucs decided to do. And it hasn't backfired. It's not like he's a bad player. He's a very good player. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Hasn't made a Pro Bowl yet, hasn't made an All-Pro yet, but we can see the difference with him on the field when he's not on the field. So the Bucs made the decision for them. They won a Super Bowl based on him being part of the organization. And let me say this too. There's a publication that's out there that's trying to pump this narrative about Jordan Whitehead and Derwin James. And I'm not going to say who they are, but I'm going to say this. I love Jordan Whitehead. He's a very good player. He's on our team. He's done a good job for us. But he is no Derwin James. Let me just say that right now. Derwin James is a two-time Pro Bowler, one-time All-Pro, about to probably be two-time All-Pro. He's been injured a couple years, but the years he's been healthy, he's been exactly who we thought he was going to be, a perennial All-Pro, a perennial Pro Bowler. But you don't need that if your team as a whole is a very good team, and that's why Jordan Whitehead fits his team. We don't have to put down other players on other teams in order to elevate our players. We can be excited that a guy like, I don't know, Shelton Quarles or Dexter Jackson or whoever played with the Bucs when we won a Super Bowl because they were vital cogs to why we won a Super Bowl, just like Jordan Whitehead is. But let's not make no mistake about it. Jordan Whitehead is not Derwin James.
Well, I tell you right now, a couple of weeks ago against the Panthers, he played a tremendous game. I thought he's played tremendous. Good stuff, Sean, the Sports Don. Thanks a lot for the call. We'll get out to Curtis, and definitely don't be a stranger on the evolution because you are one of the founding fathers of the sports web. So I'll give you a Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
I'll give you a Ric Flair. Woo! And I'll also fire those cannons, my friend. Appreciate the call. Start that Victory Sunday, Victory Monday, my friend. All right?
All right, brother. You have a good one, man. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs. There you go. Let's go out to Mr. Curtis. Let's get his walk-up music on. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
this. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a franchise high 13 wins and secure the number 2 seed. How you feeling, my friend?
Well, first of all, let me say this to all your followers and our Bucs fans. I am currently at work mopping the floor, and I'm on the phone with Bling Bling Blake. Okay?
Yeah, what's up with that, Bucs fans? I mean, I know it's a little bit later after the game, but, I got to set up stuff. I got to get stuff ready, and you guys tonight, some of you guys have been crickets. But you got Curtis here, who's, possibly jeopardizing his job, and he's getting on here giving me his thoughts. So give me your thoughts. You got to be elated, my friend. Guaranteed 2 home games at Raymond James Stadium, where consequently the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play their best football, right?
Yep. Well, first of all, I just want to give a shout out to our boy, Mike Evans, who is quite possibly one of the greatest non-diva receivers ever in the NFL.
Let me go ahead and give you some applause for that, because you're exactly right. And yes,
every right in the world to be a diva if he chose to, and he doesn't. He goes out there, he puts his head down, and he busts his ass every Sunday for his team.
Yep.
Now, what I want to tell people is this. This is what pisses me off about, not you, Peter, some media people. We lost Chris Godwin. We lost Antonio Brown. Mike Evans was doing it before they were even here.
Correct. Thank you very much. He had the greatness of Mike Glennon and Josh McCown and Jameis Winston here. I mean, you didn't have Godwin all the time.
He also learned how to be a pro from Vincent Jackson.
Correct.
Pro.
Correct.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This team is very dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Of course they are.
And guess what? Nobody the way the game started, did you expect for us to score 41 points?
I did not expect it. But then at the end of the day, I'm just like the fans out there. They get off to a bad start. You don't want to see Carolina drive it down your throat and go down there easily. But you just feel like, after a couple series there, that offense starts to get in gear and it starts to become, you know what? Brady's going to make this offense go. He's going to depend on his guys. He's going to go back to the guys, your playmakers like a Mike Evans, a Rob Gronkowski, and everything is going to be all right, along with a tremendous catch by Brashard Perryman with the footwork. And I'm not sure if he was in, but a very smart play by Tom Brady in that offense, getting up to the line and snapping the ball so they couldn't review the play in New York. Very smart.
Don't say that in front of Howie.
Huh?
Don't say that in front of the Greek.
But don't say in front of who?
The Greek.
Oh, well, I know the Greek on how he feels about Brashard Perryman, but we were watching the game together, and he was even saying, this guy's making some big catches. And look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you did in your history. It matters what you're doing right now. It is one game at a time. And
let's quote Jameis Winston before he left. What have you done for me lately?
Right. I mean, let's go back to Janet Jackson circa 1986. What have you done for me lately? And I tell you right now, Brashard Perryman, and that was terrible Janet Jackson impression. I do apologize for singing. I'll never try that again. I'm your host, Peter Blake, a sports broadcaster, not a singer. Brashard Perryman, when he was in this Bucs offense, absolutely thrived. And like I talked about in the previous shows, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, okay? You can get some big-time money from the Jets. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to put up big numbers like he did with the Bucs.
I want to give out to Sean, the sports dog, and he was making a very good point. I want people to understand about this Bucs team. This defense isn't always consistent, but every week you get a different player.
Sure.
That comes up. He steps up for his freaking team, okay? Now, y'all remember last year in the playoffs, when the playoffs started, everybody was down on Sean Murphy Bunting.
Yep.
He was playing his ass off in the playoffs.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
Antoine Winfield, another game, played his ass off in the playoffs. Kevin White played his ass off in the playoffs. every game we had another player step up.
Right.
And Vita Vea, congratulations. I was one of the Derwin James haters, but I've ate my crow. And Vita Vea, I wouldn't trade you for nobody.
No.
Nobody.
I mean, you see this massive guy. He's like 340, 360, and he's running out there and just penetrating that line and causing havoc. And that's what you're going to need, especially with these outside pass rushers coming back, hopefully, and a JPP, and, of course, a Shaq Barrett.
I want to ask you is, I didn't get to watch the game. I listened to some of the games.
Sure.
How did Le'Veon Bell do?
He did okay. I mean, 3 for 14. He had a touchdown, of course, right before halftime there.
But he pass protects.
Yes, that is the key.
Which means he can also catch the ball out of the backfield.
Correct.
Which means when Leonard Fournette comes back, when he needs a breather, you have a reliable veteran who is known to catch the ball out of the backfield and pass protect. That's going to be sidecar next to Brady.
Absolutely. And I think that's important. And I think that's what the Bucs were looking at when they signed Bell. Not only were, they injured in that running back room, but also a veteran presence who can pass protect, who can catch the ball. We saw that against the Jets. We saw that today, and they're going to be even that much stronger once they get back Leonard Fournette. They anticipate getting him back. You get back a Ronald Jones. You saw Keyshawn Vaughn get into the end zone today. I mean, not a lot of runs, but at the end of the day, once you open up that offense a little bit and give that threat of the run and you get that defense to commit up, that's when you can make those big plays intermediate down the field.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
What people don't want to understand is you don't want a one-on-one Mike Evans.
Sure.
But then when you double him, you leave Gronk open.
Yeah.
And whoever else.
That's it.
And, this kid Grayson has already showed us that he has mind-blowing speed.
Right, and you hope he went out with a hamstring injury, so you hope that's not long-term because we know that, a hamstring injury can be a lingering problem. So hopefully it's not because I love the story of this kid. Not playing college football, he wants it that much more, and he came up big last week versus the Jets. Unfortunately, he was out injured today, so we'll see how long he's going to be out for, but you're exactly right.
My other shout out is thank you, San Francisco 49ers.
Yes. Right? And there's the thing. Everybody's like, well, I'm surprised. No, you should have watched the show because I was predicting it. Maybe I was biased about it, but I told you that the 49ers play smash mouth football and they would punch the Rams in the mouth. And this defense is not that good. They're not.
And I shouldn't be going to I'm a thinker, and I've been thinking already. I've been looking at the playoffs. Dallas might be in trouble against San Fran.
Sure. Right now, you would think San Francisco is a very hot team. Jimmy Garoppolo, even with the hand injury, playing the way he did, made some big throws, especially in that fourth quarter, that big-time throw. And I don't know what the Rams are looking at on that touchdown. I'm trying to think of a number 15's name. He had a big game. But you going with the rub route to Brandon Ayuk, you're doubling up on him. 15 runs across the middle. He's wide, stinking open later on in that fourth quarter to tie the game. You can't have those type of coverage breakdowns. And then, like I said, over and over again, like a bad mumble rap song on the radio, listening to it over and over again, Matt Stafford is not as good as you think he is. In the last month, he has shown that.
I need people to understand this. The Rams have a good team, but they haven't proven anything.
Yep.
Dallas is a good team. They haven't proven anything. They've proven that they can beat the snot out of bad teams.
Right. When they're not playing their starters.
Green Bay has been to the NFC Championship game the last 2-3 seasons.
Correct.
But they're kind of reminding me of those Donovan McNabb Eagles from the early 2000s that can't get over the hump.
Exactly. And whether that's play calling or Aaron Rodgers or injuries, but, they got back one of their top offensive linemen today in David Bakhtiari. And also they could be getting back Jair Alexander, the cornerback there. So they're getting healthy at the right time. A lot of people think Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. Where do you lie on that? Is it Tom Brady for you at 43 years old? 44?
It's not even close.
Not even close to you. Okay.
It's not even close.
Okay.
Listen. I understand they didn't have anything to play for, but you don't lose to the Lions.
No, you don't. But give credit.
Number two,
I'll tell you right
two.
now, Dan Campbell, I've become a fan of Dan Campbell. We were making fun of him before the season, but he gets his team to play every game. That team has not quit on him all year round. Amazing.
He is my coach of the year.
Wow.
He is my coach of the year just from he's Bruce Arians Jr. He gives it to you raw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming. All right. I gotta go because I gotta get yelled at. But hey, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, love you, brother. Don't get yelled at by your job. Tell me you're on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'll give you the Byron Leftwich. I'll give you the Ric Flair. Whoa! And I will also give you a Cannons right there. Guys calling from work and getting yelled at by their boss to call the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. That, my friends, is a beautiful thing. Not the fact that he loses his job. Hopefully he doesn't lose his job, but him calling the show. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Stunning has not called in a while. Saints being eliminated from the playoffs gives me the same joy as a Super Bowl win. How about those Saints, huh? Oh. No, they didn't make the playoffs? No? They didn't?
How about no?
They didn't make the playoffs at all. You mean the New Orleans Saints didn't make the playoffs?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Saints fans care. And guess what? They're not going to be in the playoffs this year. So good stuff there. Love Face XYZ. We're satisfy your wishes online. That's interesting. What the hell is this? Well, thank you very much, whoever this is. Love Face XYZ. So gotta love the trolls. Don't know who that is, but thanks a lot for tuning into the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I truly think I am going to get out of here now. Thanks a lot to all the callers. Like I said, we'll be back here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. 3 things on this Victory Sunday night. Let's give it to them.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I got to read this comment. Sutton says, I think the bots came into the YT chat. You got to love that. 3 things. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Have a great night, guys.
Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
Merry Christmas. Say, I love football. Say this. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Tampa. Tampa. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Oh my God, she's so smart and she's so precious. I love her to death.